What's up, guys? M. Jones back in the house again for a in-theater review. I got my buddy next to me, Stegs. He's going to be also helping me with this review tonight. We saw the movie The Conjuring, starring Patrick Wilson, Vera Farmiga, Ron Livingston, Lily Tomlin, and a few others. This movie was absolutely terrifying. One of the scariest movies I think I've ever seen. Stegs, what do you think?
I have to agree.
Yeah. Absolutely terrifying. We'll get more into that in a few seconds, but let's just give a brief introduction to some of the characters. Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson played the Warrens. One's a demonologist, the other one's a clairvoyant. And they get word that there's something going on because of Lily Tomlin's character kind of telling them that something freaky is going on, which I'm going to let Stegs talk to you about first. In a second. But first we got to talk about the director. The director was James Wan, who did Saw, who did Dead Silence, who did Insidious, and Insidious 2, the next chapter, which comes out in September. And, you know, the guy's a genius director. He's from Malaysia, and he's only in his mid-30s. And the guy's a fantastic horror movie director. So I really look forward to the stuff that he has down the road. But before we go even further, we're going to kind of give you a plot. Stegs?
Before I go even further, I just want to know one thing. Why do you have Peach Dragon on Blu-ray?
Love it. It's classic.
It's a classic.
It's classic. Anywho,
where were we?
The plot.
Oh, yeah. Ron Livingston from Peter from Office Space and his wife and 5 daughters.
5
daughters. Move into this house in 1971, was it?
1971.
1971, Rhode Island.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty it starts out as pretty much like your typical haunted house movie. You know, little things happen, it's kind of like a little bit like Paranormal Activity.
Mm-hmm. Insidious a little.
A little bit of Insidious.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like everything just starts to escalate. It starts off small and then things just start getting worse and worse and worse. And that's where the 2 main characters come in to try to investigate what's going on in this house. And some of the stuff in this movie, I wouldn't have thought could be that scary, but your imagination really makes you start thinking oh my god, what's gonna happen next?
No clue.
And just you can't cover your eyes because you're so interested in you want to see what happens.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're like, oh my god.
Yeah. You know something's gonna happen. And most of the time you're like, oh God, but it was also so well filmed and so much of a cool story. I was like, okay, just watch. Oh my God, it's gonna shoot out at you and a pop out. But it was one of those movies where I was so interested to see what's gonna happen because it was such a good movie. It wasn't just a cheap horror flick. It was a well written, well filmed, well scripted everything. It was so good. It was so good.
Like you were talking about earlier, the cinematography is what really made it how it was.
Yeah.
How scary
The number one pro, if there's pro and cons, the number one pro is the cinematography. The camera work and the camera angles and how they would zoom in on certain things. It was just is that something important to know? Is that behind the demon's eyes? Is that just the camera in general? The camera work I thought was so good, and the music. And the sound effects, and the pop-out noises, it's just I mean, we were probably the 2 biggest guys in the theater and probably the most scared 2 people in the theater as well. It was awful. I was watching kids in front of us not even budge. And just talk and bullshit and text. It's how are you not scared? I'm terrified. I'm in my late 20s and I'm absolutely like a little girl. Absolutely little girl. So I thought it was just so scary. But any cons, do you think?
Maybe the acting for some of the unknown actors that I've never seen.
Yeah, besides the people that we aforementioned, it's kind of hard to know who some of the people were. There was a cop that was in the movie that came to try to help with the demons, and his acting was just whatever. But I mean, that's not such I would harp on so much. This movie is a fantastic movie, a very, very, very well done movie. I was so into the movie, and if I would pick a favorite character in the movie, the actor that did the best, in my opinion, I thought Patrick Wilson was really good. I thought he was the best. He played Ed Warren, who was the demonologist, and he He could do like exorcisms if he had to, and and that's the thing. Before the movie started, I was saying to Steggs, I was like, you know what? I don't like how he is in this movie, directed by James Wan, and he's also in Insidious 1 and Insidious 2, directed by James Wan. So I kind of see no disconnect there, where I'm like, I'm watching him in the movie The Conjuring. I'm thinking, is he a demon? Because if you remember Insidious 1, spoiler alert, he kind of had the the whole face thing go with that evil demon character with him at the end of the movie. So I couldn't disconnect that. I didn't like that, but I'll tell you what, Patrick Wilson, he worked his ass off to be in this movie and to portray the real guy, Ed Warren, the demonologist. So I thought he did the best in the whole movie. I really loved his character, and after a while I started to get a real disconnect, because in the very beginning I thought, man, he was just going to be the same guy from Insidious. I'm just not going to feel the difference. I was wrong. He definitely showed me that he was different in this role. So I was really excited about that, and I thought he was the best in the whole movie. Steggs, who do you thought was the best?
He was good, but the one little girl that saw the demon in her room.
Oh, that woke up?
The one that woke up.
Cindy.
The
character Cindy, yeah.
She was so believable that you really think that she is terrified. That she's
I agree. I thought of that too. She was, out of the 5 girls, she was probably the mid-child. She had short, curly hair, and there was parts in the movie that the demon went after her a lot, and she just... she was budged a little bit and like woke up and thought it was her sister, then would smell like this rancid smell. And, and she, I agree with Steg, she really acted, for being a young girl, she was probably 10 years old, she really did act like, she was really scared. Like, I was scared for her, even though it's a movie and she's an actress, but she really came off as, someone being that scared. Mm. Oh man.
Now, I don't want to give any spoilers away, but there's a part in this movie where they wake up in the bedroom, and the one girl is looking at the demon. But you don't see the demon, nope. She can only see it, and her sister wakes up, she's like, what are you looking at? And she's like, it's looking right at us. And
I'm just like...
The way that she says it and describes it, it's like, oh my god, it's really looking at them.
Yeah.
And you don't know what it looks like, and she can only see it.
And and I'm saying to myself, Stags, we're probably going to have to sleep next to each other.
And then you just keep wondering, it's like, when are they going to show the demon? And it's like, oh my god, it could be anywhere.
Where's the demon at? The demon's not standing there anymore, you know that. But it was so creepy because you just didn't know what was going to happen. But what an effective movie. I thought it was one of the best horror movies I've ever seen. It was so scary. And, if I would give it a 1 to 5 stars, I hate to say, I'd probably go 4.5. A 5 out of 5 is so difficult. Like, to me, a 5 out of 5 is like Forrest Gump, Titanic. Just everything about it was perfect. Toy Story, perfect. Halloween, they're just perfect movies. This movie was an awesome movie. Very well done. But just, I couldn't give it 5 out of 5 because there's a few parts I was like, whatever, and that was some of the acting. I'll give it a 4.5 out of 5. That's the closest to 5 I could ever give it. I mean, it was so good. Stags, what do you give it?
I give it about the same too.
4.5?
I agree.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Wow. Well, any reason?
I'm just gonna, continue off of what you said.
Reiterate.
There really is there hasn't been a perfect movie in a while.
A long time.
I don't think so.
But, a long time. I haven't seen one in a long time.
But for a horror movie, for a supernatural horror movie, this definitely is at the top, for sure. Definitely beats the Paranormal Activity. Yeah.
Oh my God, it was so scary. It was so scary. But and that's another thing also. We in about a month from now, if you follow any of the horror movie kind of stuff, you probably know about Monster Mania and Comic-Con and all that kind of stuff. And I know Comic-Con's going on right now, I think in San Diego. But next month in New Jersey, if you want to meet us two, we're going to be at the Monster Mania in Cherry Hill, New Jersey on August 17th. It's a Saturday. We're going to be there all day. And, you'll be able to recognize us very easily, I'm very sure. And we're definitely looking to talk to you, and we'll probably bring our camera and stuff and film some stuff. And really excited to meet a lot of the guests that are going to be there. I was informed by Steggs probably about a month and a half ago who was going to be there. And I mean, the main people that are going to be there, I'm not crazy about. Like, Carrie Fisher's going to be there. Not crazy about her. But Steggs and I, we have a huge affinity for Christopher Lloyd, who will be there all weekend. So he, to us, like, we grew up with, him as Doc Brown. He was Jim in Taxi. Switchblade Sam and Dennis the Menace. Like, he was just a phenomenal actor, and just really good writer as well and producer. And we're really excited to see him. And also Danny Glover's going to be there, which I'm really excited to meet. He was in Lethal Weapons, Predator 2. He was in
Christopher Lloyd were both in Angels in the Outfield.
Right, he was in Saw, James Wan's movie Saw, and he was in Shooter. I hate him in Shooter, but he was in whatever. But he was all Angels in the Outfield. He's hysterical in. So really excited to meet him, and I think it's going to be a really good show. I'm pretty sure Gary Busey's going to be there. Who Steggs and I, we both met him probably 3 years ago.
Yeah, he's terrifying.
Yeah, he's an interesting guy. He's a weird guy. But if you want to meet us, please come up and say hi to us. We'd be more than happy to talk to you guys. I always love hearing what people think of their movies, and if you like our videos, if you like my videos and like Steggs' videos, that's awesome. I really appreciate it, because this is what we love to do. But so again, that'll be August 17th, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and keep watching and subscribing. And until then, you take it easy, and
I have one more thing to say.
What do you have to say?
I tip my hat to James Wan.
Yes.
Because he knows how to make a horror movie. He knows how to make you scary.
He is very good.
Yes.
Very good. But probably the best horror director in a long time.
And that's probably the reason why the first Saw is the best one.
Yes.
The only good one.
Because he did that one, right?
Yep. He directed Saw.
Well done, sir. Well, until then, you take it easy, and bye.